What is going on, people? Welcome to the On a Level Podcast, episode 43. Today, we got indigomerkaba. Did I even say that right?
Nah, indigomerkaba, bro.
Merkaba. You know what? I should know that because I watched your 48 Hours documentary. So, I also know the origin of your name now. So, yeah, I should know this shit. Merkaba. That's it.
What's going on?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Your name, so you've already talked about the meaning of it. And if people want to know, they can go look that shit up, as you'd say. But, what made you decide on that name? When did you come up with that name?
Well, initially, bro, it was fucking just indigo. It was just indigo. And then because I was a big fan of X, bro. Like, Triple X Tentacion. And, I was sitting there with my homie one time. We're fucking smoking weed. And, he was showing me this mad doco. I can't remember what it's called, bro. But it's this little doco that Joe Rogan recommended it. It's called, fucking Human Life Explained or some shit, bro. It's these little cartoon characters and that. And, they had some shit about the Merkaba in there. And I was like, this shit's fucking fire. And then because I was such a fan of, X and he had such a trippy name, I was like, I'm going to add that on there.
Yeah.
It's going to be indigo, one word and shit.
I like that shit, man. That's cold. Because it's such a unique name. I think people might look at it and be like, yo, what's this about? It's not no little this or X like that. You know what I mean? It's a cold name. I like that, man.
Yeah, bro. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, and it obviously has a meaning to you, which is an important thing.
Yeah, bro. I've always resonated with the indigo children shit. Since a kid, bro. My mum schooled me about that shit young.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been in touch with my spiritual side and shit, bro. But I lost it for ages because I've been a drug addict. You know, I've been a drug addict from fucking 15 to only recent and shit, bro. So I always had it in me and I always knew to go. But it's I lost myself, bro, hectically with drugs. So it's I've been sober now for fucking 2 years, bro. So it's I'm in a killer headspace. You know, I'm hungry. I'm working. I'm coming for the top, bro. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's sick. Nah, honestly, that's sick, and it's so glad to hear that you're in a healthier place right now. Is that fair to say?
Oh, way healthier, bro.
Yeah, and that's sick. That's I'm so glad to hear that. And you are a person who's not shied away from talking about those struggles in your music. Obviously I've only done a couple reactions, but then since then I've been sitting down and I've been listening to your shit. You even sent a project over and I've been sitting down listening to shit, and it's yo, my man has a lot to say, a lot to talk about, and a lot of subject matter that cuts deep.
Yeah, bro. Well, I feel that's what we're meant to do as artists. You know what I mean? I think that's how you can tell the genuine artists from people that just on some fucking hop onto a wave type shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is cool. This is popping. I can get some bitches. I can make some money from this shit. I'm gonna say what everyone else is saying. Where it's bro, I really hip hop saved my life, bro. If I didn't have this hip hop shit, I'd be dead, bro. That's 100% fact. I'd be fucking dead, bro. People like Eminem, people like fucking J. Cole, people like fucking Pac, Biggie, L, these motherfuckers saved my life. Had me fucking feeling like I wasn't just some little schizophrenic kid growing up. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, nah.
I just feel alone listening to this shit as a kid.
Yeah. No, of course, man. And I think that represents in just your personality in general. And how you could see the hunger that you've got for this shit. You could see that you want this. I
appreciate
it. And you know, I think people recognize that, and I think that's why people are warming to you so quickly, because, you know, they're seeing that you're not here to just hop on the wave, as you'd say. You know what I mean? You're here to really talk about some serious shit.
Yeah, bro. It was I got an upcoming project as well called Lecter, right? And it's I've put out music that's telling shit about my story. I've put out positive music. I've put out shit like Filth with Huskii.
Yeah.
And this Lecter shit is pretty well a whole album of shit the Filth shit, bro. It's I'm not really talking about anything but being a grimy cunt, really.
Yeah.
But it's I want people to realize the music that you'll always get with me will coincide with what my name means, bro. I'm on some yin yang shit as a human being. 1 minute I can talk to you how I am now. Next minute I'm fuck you. Not fuck you, but like on some, I don't want to talk to no one shit. I'm on some dark vibes. Stay the fuck away from me. I don't give a fuck about no one. Like I'm Mr. Duality, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm light and dark.
But
and I want people to get that.
You get that? Because like I get the same, yeah, as an artist, and I'm sure plenty of other artists get it, where some days you're in your humble bag, you're open-minded about shit. Sometimes you may even feel vulnerable. But then other times you're in almost your rapper bag. Your ego kind of gets there, and you want to talk your shit in some ways. Is that fair to kind of bounce between the two?
Yeah, well, I think it shows you're human, bro. It's a human emotion. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, unless you truly are someone like Bob Marley, and you're like Mr. Positive all the time. You're smoking. You're trying to preach the choir and fucking. I'm positive all the time. It's love all the time in my heart. Unless you're that, not many of us are like that. You know what I mean? So why would you? Like, I'm not like, even though I'm like a spiritual dude and I'm trying to preach, well, not preach, but like teach spirituality in my music. It would be unfair of me and stupid of me to not explain the down as well. Like, yeah, I want love and I want to be all united in this hip hop shit, and it's all love to everyone. I don't have any qualms or any issues with any artist, but it's still like, we all get depressed. We all feel fucking violent. We all feel fucking psychotic at times. Like, so I'm not going to be like, I'm a hippie, man. Fucking, it's all peace and love all the time. Like, nah, brother, I don't feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, when you're talking about, you know, kind of in touch with your spiritual side, and you're talking about energies, like, and things like that, people obviously assume the stereotype that comes with that. But you're applying that to hip-hop, and I feel like that's a really interesting mix to mix the two, you know? Because some people do talk about that within hip-hop, you know? But I don't feel like it's, you know, we keep coming back to it. It's not the wave. It's not like the common thing for everybody to do because it's sick. So the fact that you're one of the few people doing it, I feel like it's interesting, and that's a story for you to tell, you know?
Yeah, bro. I got really inspired when I first saw Joey Badass coming out, bro. Because he was talking about the Indigo Children, and he was talking about fucking, you know, catching a vibe and taking fucking, you know, taking mushrooms and collecting crystals and all this shit, just like some shit that I resonate with. It's like, fuck, there's a dude making spirituality cool within hip hop. Like, it's different because it's over there in the US, and it's like, I feel like a lot of people are more open-minded to shit because they got so many more human beings in that country. But it's like, I'm trying to do the same shit, bro. I'm trying to really make like that spiritual wave and like being in touch with your emotions and not being fucking, like, no, we don't always need to be this hard cunt as men. Like, Huskie's another good one, bro. Like, he's always been real vulnerable in his music. They kind of still slap you, but he'll still fucking talk about some real shit that he's gone through. You know what I mean? And it's like, he's not afraid to get in touch with his emotions, bro. And I feel like making that cool to kids is like going to save a lot of cunts' lives, bro. Because it's like, you don't need to be a hard cunt. Like, being a hard cunt will either get you in jail, it'll get you bashed by the wrong person, or it'll get you killed. So it's like, I feel like it's a responsibility as artists, not all of us, because not all of us need to be that educational or like be a leading example. Like, some cunts are just going to talk their shit and they don't give a fuck who it affects. And good on them. But I feel like, me personally, I feel like my job is to try and lead kids, because it's like, that's what the whole Indigo Children thing is, bro. I'm like trying to fucking teach kids to like use your head. Don't be a dumb cunt. Like, think before you speak, think before you act, and get in touch with your emotions. If you want to cry about a situation, cry. Don't mask the crying with like going and punching some cunt in the head or going and stabbing someone or, you know, doing something dirty. It's like, just be a human being. You don't need to put on a front for no one.
Yeah, I hear that.
Rapper or not, rapper or listener or not even a hip hop head. I want someone that doesn't even listen to hip hop to just stumble across one of my songs and be like, fuck, I resonate with this just as a song. Hip hop aside.
No, I hear that, man. And you talk about, you know, aiming almost your content towards the younger people. Like, when you say children, obviously, like the younger demographic as a whole. But you're not sugarcoating shit either. You're not here to, you know, tell your nursery rhymes or nothing. You're telling shit as it is. And, you know, kind of in some ways, because there are some young people that are living life, you know, and they're going through experiences that they shouldn't go through at a young age. But, you know, the unfortunate story is for some people they are. And so, you know, for that specific demographic in particular, people like you, the music that you talk about, and you mentioned Huskii before, I feel like that's a really good comparison in terms of stylistically the music that you create to a certain extent, you know, and subject matter you dance around. That's, you know, that's what we're aiming for. And when you look at then other people, do you feel like, let's say you take the stereotypical middle class kid with the silver spoon up his ass, never had nothing go wrong, do you feel like people like you, Huskii, etc., is that then leading them? Is that leading a bad example in any way, shape, or form? Is there any negatives that are taken from that, or do you see it as like, nah, my shit can only be like a positive message?
It can be taken. It can be taken the wrong way if you're not. I don't want to say smart, but it's like if you're a grown man, you know that if you're listening to another grown man speak, it shouldn't impede on your reality.
Say that one more time for me, please. Just one more time.
Bro, if you're a grown man listening to another grown man's story, it should not impede on your reality.
Thank you.
Do you know? Like, bro, I was listening to Big L and shit growing up. I've never seen a gun in my life, lad. I'm not gonna cap. But I still felt a way listening to it. It didn't make me want to go get a gun. It didn't make me want to act like, oh, I'll shoot you. I was like, I fuck with this music. I fuck with the energy.
Yeah.
I feel it. But I was never like, oh, I bang a set and I'm from the hood and fucking all this shit. But like, bro, I grew up in a good area. I put myself in fucked up positions. I come from a good family, bro. Like, I am like a middle class kid. But I put myself in fucked up situations because I had no friends, bro. I grew up a loner. And because I wanted to fit in so bad, I ran away from home type shit and like hung out with people that I shouldn't have. Like rolling around with 25, 26-year-olds as a fucking 14-year-old kid stealing cars and shit when I had no reason to, bro. I had a mum and dad at home that were together that wanted me at home. But, no, and I think like that's another thing. Like motherfuckers lie about where they came from. Like, bruv, I come from a good area. I come from a good family. I got why would I lie? Because the people who truly know me from where I'm from, if I was to try and be like, nah, I come from the slums, fucking this and that, they're going to be like, nah, this cunt's lying, bruv. So I'm always keep it real with everything I say, bro. 100%.
And I think we need to normalize that. I think we need to normalize people telling the truth because it's so easy to lie. It's so easy to over-exaggerate and this romanticization of people coming from the slums. You know, this kind of, it's the best thing ever to happen if you go through loads of adversity. And now, listen, if people go through shit, and you have every right to talk about that. But I don't feel like that needs to be the angle for everyone.
Yeah, bro. I think another thing as well is like, people think that like you can't have experienced pain unless you're from the hood or some shit. Like, bro, and everyone measures pain differently. Like some shit that I've been through, someone like someone that's done it real rough. I don't want to name no names, but like I know people that have been that are in this Aussie rap shit that have had a fucked up life, bro. That have been through some real hectic shit. Some shit that I've gone through, they might be like, "That's nothing, bruv. What the fuck's that? Why you been upset about that?" But I have like tried to kill myself over this type shit. And it's like vice versa. I might look at someone else's life and be like, why are you tripping? But they'll be like, nah, bro, this shit really fucked me up. So like, everyone measures pain differently, bro. Pain's pain. It's not like, oh, he fucking suffered the worst pain because he fucking grew up with a fucking junkie mum. Like, that's fucked up. And like, there is a level of that is like more fucked up in like if you look at it from like
a literal sense, like you know?
Yeah, like through like visual eyes, like someone that grew up with a mum that was addicted to hard drugs versus someone that had a fucking mum not addicted to anything. Visually, that looks worse for that cunt. But the one who had the normal looking mum, in quotes, might have done some shit behind closed doors that the user mum wasn't doing to their kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's like, I think that's the part that people get misconstrued. Like, oh, fucking, I need to come from the hood or I need to do this to validate my pain. Like, nah, bro. We all feel pain.
I'm with you there. I'm with you 100%. Yeah. And the way I describe that is pain is subjective, right? And so we look at it like this. If you're 3 years old and you have an ice cream and you drop that ice cream, that might be the worst thing that happened in your day, right? You're 10 years old. You go to school. You're someone who falls out with your best friend. That's the worst thing that happened in your day. You're 18 years old. You ain't got no money for your rent. Your misso just left you. Like, let's just say a bunch of shit happened, and that's the worst like thing in your day, or the worst day that you've had, right? Now, for all three of those people, that's the worst thing that can happen in their life. And so, although from a literal sense, as we're saying, from somebody's eyes watching that, yes, you can see the three different stages of that. But for that person as an individual, they're going through the most right now, you know? And that's the shit that is making them feel like they're at their low, you know?
100%.
And so I feel like that's a very fair analogy, you know, because despite what background you come from, you know, if you want to really throw in the diversity card of gender, race, fucking everything, wealth, everything thrown in there, it doesn't matter where you land on. Like, people can still go through shit in their own regard, you know? And so when people are talking about shit in music, I want people to just tell their truth, because it will relate to people. Like, you look at Kanye West. Kanye West had a good upbringing. He talks about this. He comes from a rich family, and Kanye still managed to make music that related to loads of people, especially in those first 3 to 4 albums. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's very, very possible. Not everyone has to have the Eminem 8 Mile kind of story.
Yeah, bro, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, man. So you already kind of talked about your early influences in rap. So it's very American based.
100%, bro. Like, I grew up solely on American hip hop, bro, and it was only like, fuck, bro, I would have been like 13 or 14 when I first got introduced to Oz hip hop.
Right.
And I reckon the first Oz hip hop I ever heard was, fuck, bro, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I reckon it was probably Bliss and Esso.
Right.
Because it was like, like in Adelaide, bro, because like Hilltops are from Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
So like growing up, it was like you were either a Hilltops fan or you were a Bliss and Esso fan, because they were like the two rivals.
Yeah.
And like, I can't cap, bro. I was a Bliss and Esso fan through and through. Like, I fucked with the Hilltops, but like, I used to crank Bliss and Esso hectically, bro. And then from there, that's what led me to people like Trem and Brad Strutt and Bias B and Bigfoot and Gargoyle and fuck, bro, I could go on, Taunts.
Yeah.
Like, and then I like, there was like a time period where I didn't really listen to Aussie hip hop after, because like no one really was doing shit as good as what I grew up on. Like, there wasn't another Trem. There wasn't another Brad Strutt.
Yeah.
There's only so much you could listen to the old shit. Like, I still listen to the old shit now, but it was like they weren't as active after I had found them. And then that's when battling came up hectically, bro. Like, Got Beef was heavy.
Yeah.
And then when I first saw like Greeley and fucking like 60 and Curse, and that's when Curse really made his jump, bro. Like, he was always known as a slick battle rapper, and then he did this fucking freestyle, Cursor is the Sickest, on Hustle Hard TV.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just like skyrocketed, bro. Like, he blew the fuck up, like not long after that. And then, like, I was never the biggest fan of Curse, like his music. I'm one of them dudes that's like, I know to pay homage to someone of that caliber. Like, I'm not shit without Cursor. None of us right now making music are shit without Cursor. And if you disagree or don't think that that's the case, you're a fucking idiot. Like, he literally paved the whole fucking road that we're all walking down right now, bro.
Yeah. Talk on that for a moment, like being able to pay your respect to someone without them being your favorite artist. Like, is it fair to be able to respect someone for what they've done without being their number one fan?
100%. Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I fuck with some Curse shit. Like, not to say that I don't fuck with him as an artist. Like I can listen to a Curse song and enjoy it.
Yep.
But I'm not there anticipating Curse releases. I'm not gonna cap him. Like, when he announces that he's got an album coming out or some shit, I'm not like, oh fuck, I can't wait to listen to this. I'll listen to it because it's Cursor. But I'm not there anticipating it. Like, when J. Cole says he's dropping, bruv, I'm staying there.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating. But I think it just comes down to like, I don't know. There's a level of it like how you were brought up, I feel, and like another level of it is like how your elder male influences taught you about respect. Like, bro, I respect men. If you're doing some dope shit, kudos. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't need to be a fan of you. Like, I'm not really a fan of fucking 1-4, bro. Musically.
Yeah.
But fuck, they are at the top. They are the pinnacle of Australian hip hop right now. They're the pinnacle of it. And kudos and much respect to them boys, bro. But like, I don't go out of my way to listen to 1-4.
Right. I've heard the conversations and I've seen the comments before about when people say 1-4 at the top of the Oz hip hop game and whatnot. Is 1-4 considered in the hip hop conversation, or should they only be in the lane of drill?
So, like, that's another thing. Like, if we're talking rap or drill, they're in the drill category. But hip hop is a culture. People get the word hip hop is not a genre, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Hip hop is a fucking culture. Rap is the genre.
Yeah.
Feel
100%.
me? So it's like,
it's all under the umbrella of hip hop. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course they've got to be mentioned in the hip hop conversation because they're hip hop. They dress hip hop. They talk. They're hip hop. What the fuck up? What else are they?
My brother, I need to be able to just call you at any time, yeah, because sometimes when I talk about these things, people look at me, or people type, obviously, they must watch me and just think that I'm crazy or something when I'm saying shit like this. Like, thank you.
Bro. People need to fucking, bruv, you need to go do your research. Anyone who disagrees with any of the shit that we're saying, you need to go listen to fucking KRS-One. You need to go listen to fucking Rakim. You need to go listen to fucking Africa Bambaataa. You need to go listen to fucking DJ Kool Herc. These are the people. None of us would do this if it wasn't for those men. They started this entire culture that is now a global thing. It started in America, in the Bronx, New York, and now it's grown to a global phenomenon. And it's a culture. It's not a fucking genre.
I think it's sick. I think it's sick that so many people can have a voice, but I feel like the only issue with that is then sometimes people can have too much of a voice without knowing anything. Now, people could argue, what I mean by that, let me touch on that a little bit more, because people could argue that I'm that person, right? Of, but Chazza can just say what he wants because of his platform and he doesn't necessarily know everything, etc., etc. Like, I feel like some people are able to, you know, criticize others for what they're doing, for what they're saying, what they're producing, whatever it may be, without knowing too much themselves. And obviously then you come into the whole category of like, people who hate comments and shit like that. Like, but, you know, I might say a statement to do with Aussie hip hop, I don't know, let's just whatever it is, and somebody might comment on that and be like, oh, you're chatting shit, or oh, that's not true. But that person themselves might not know exactly what it is. And I think as I said, I think it's so sick that hip hop as a culture is so easily accessible now with internet, YouTube, Spotify, etc., etc. Like, I think it is sick, but equally there's people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, giving their opinions on shit that's going on. Like, for you as an artist, do you run into that much, and does it get frustrating when you do see someone criticize you and you're sitting there thinking, but you probably don't know shit yourself? Like,
it used to affect me, bro. Like, I used to like hate shit like that. Like, people either voicing an opinion that they don't know anything about, like, to me personally, and the culture. But now I look at it in the sense of, who are you? What are you to my, or I don't want to say mine as in ownership, but like, I'm a part of the culture, so it's my culture. You know what I mean? So it's like, who are you to my culture? Unless it's someone like you. Like, if you called me whack, I'd be like, fuck. Like, because you mean something to people. Your opinion matters to people.
Thank you.
Some kid that's leaving some fucking stupid comment on my shit saying, oh, get off the pipe, you're a drug addict, I can, you know, it's laughable. Who are you? Do you have it with Huskii? Do you have cosigns from Cursor and kings of the game? They wouldn't even fucking speak to me if they didn't think that I was something. So it's like, I obviously do something right to have you know, cosigns and have tracks with people that are fucking sick cunts within the culture. If I wasn't accepted by it, like, and that's all that really matters to me, bro, at this point, is the acceptance of, like, I used to want the world to love me, like, have heaps of fans. But as I got older, I'm on some shit of, like, I've already made it in my eyes, bro. I've got a track with my favorite fucking artist in Huskii. I've got an album that has fucking Cursor introducing my fucking album. I've got Trem on a skit. I've got Brad Strutt on a skit. I've got Enter on a skit. Bruv, no one could ever fuck with me again. I could never get another single stream off this hip-hop shit. People that I love and respect and grew up listening to and have a lot of time for as human beings, fuck with me. That's all that matters to me, bro, is my peers around me.
That's strong-minded, man, because, you know, it's not easy to do that. And a lot of people love to say, you know, fuck the haters, I don't care. But whenever I speak to people, everyone in their own way manages to say, like, yo, at some point, whether it's now or before, that shit got to me, you know? And I think that's fair. And as you're saying before, like, from a human level, you know, I feel like you have to build that thick skin up for most people. You know, for some people, they might have taken those hard knocks in person enough, so you know, they might already have that thick skin already. But majority of people have got to go through that process at some point.
Yeah, bruv. If you don't have thick skin as a fucking hip hop artist, you're in the wrong industry, lad.
Yeah.
Like, bruv, you got to be prepared for it, cunt. Like, bro, do you know how many
100%.
people got on my comment section on YouTube for my track with Huskii? Like, how much did this goose pay for the feature?
Yeah.
That's my bro. I didn't pay a cent. Fucking dickhead. Like, so there's that level of me that reacts like that in my head, like, fucking dickhead cunt.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't reply to it because it's like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
You're the one you clicked on it, dickhead.
You know what? It's such a funny conversation that you're having right now, because I did an Instagram live a couple days ago in the morning on my way to work, and I was talking, and someone was there just like, fuck you dog. You can't rap for shit, just stick to reactions. Actually, no, wait, fuck your reactions. Like just proper, like, really going for it. And for once I responded, I'm just like, big man, why are you trying to draw me out? Like, what's the issue here? What have I done to hurt you so bad? And he's like, fuck you mean nothing. And I'm like, so why are you here still commenting? Like, and I genuinely wanted to understand, like, what is the angle that you've got right now? What's hurting you so bad right now? And then he only goes, no, I'm just joking. And I'm just like, this is mad. Is this what people do for fun? Like, do people just want to get, like, attention? Is that what it is? Do people just want to get acknowledged by people? Because I get that from time to time, where people will say something, or they'll chat shit, or whatever it may be, and then I'll get the comment, or I'll get the message, or I'll get the reply afterwards saying, like, oh no, I'm just messing with you. And I'm just like, where does the excitement come from that? Like, I don't quite understand what goes through people's minds when this shit happens. Like,
yeah, I feel like it's a lot of young people, bro.
Right.
Only young people themselves like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a grown man and that's the way you handle yourself, someone needs to slap you.
So yeah, I was about to disagree, but I agree with that second part. Yeah.
What grown man is going out of their way to demean another man unless there's beef? You know, like, unless you got beef with someone, and even then, if you publicly beef, you're a fuckwit. You know, like, it's all like, and that's my whole thing, bro. It should be always love to everyone, love and respect everyone. Why not? What is it, corny to fucking show love to everyone? Corny to respect every man? If someone hasn't done you wrong or said nothing wrong by you, then who is anyone to just disrespect a man on some pride shit? And what pride do you get out of that? But I see a lot of cunts. It's like, I don't want to fucking show no cunt love. It's fucking I'm on my own type. You know what I mean? Like, it's all for me, all for my boys and the people around me. I don't need to show no love to no cunt. But why?
I mean, I think, bro, this is why I need you. This is why we need people like you, because, listen, it's so easy to talk about the beef. And listen, I would be a hypocrite if I sat here and said that I didn't enjoy some of the beef that happens, yeah, from a music standpoint. Let me make that very clear. From a music standpoint, I enjoy UK grime culture, so I like to hear people go at one another on the microphone. As like yourself, we've got beef. Like I used to watch battle rap. So in UK with Don't Flop, or in Canada with KOTD. Like I grew up watching that shit. So from that standpoint, from the creative standpoint, I love the clash. I love the I'm better than you. My pen is better than yours. I love that shit. But the whole street shit, I get it. I get how people get drawn into that. But what I don't understand is how it got as big as it did. Because the point we're at now, and I'm more so speaking on behalf of the UK than anything, just because I understand the dynamic perhaps a little bit better, is the more shit that you are proven to have done, or to have proven what you're doing, like the more credit you get. But more time than not, the people who are that bold to show and, you know, expose everything they're doing, the quicker they are to get locked up. The quicker they are to get fucking, you know, like ICU, like, you know what I mean? And so it's just this mad contradiction of people who do anything for that 5 minutes of fame, and more time than not, they end up paying the consequences, lo and behold. Like,
100%.
Do you feel like that's the direction that Aussie hip hop's taken? Like, more and more people are just trying to prove that they're the baddest just to get that 5 minutes of fame? Or do you think people are just chatting a load of shit?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen in a musical way. It might, like, I don't know. I feel like it might go down that way on a street level, maybe. But it's like, I don't know, bro. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I don't think musically there's enough people in the same lane to beef. If you like, do you know, like what, like, let's just put it in like a good instance of people that are at the top right now. Like, it would be stupid for someone like Chillin' It to beef 1-4. They may be at a similar caliber of like where they are artistically with fans and numbers and shit like that. But why would Chillin' It beef 1-4? His demographic of fan and the music that he makes is nothing like 1-4. The only thing that they would have to beef over is who gets more numbers, which is a fucking stupid reason to beef. Musically. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think there's enough people in the same lane to beef. Like, there's no one in Cursor's lane. Who could beef Cursor? No one.
Not nowadays, anyway.
Yeah, like, there's no one that's at his level. To like, there's people that rap like Cursor, but they're not at his level. So while, like, he wouldn't respond to someone that's not at his level.
Well, you've seen instances of that in the past where, you know, the smaller artist sends for the bigger artist, and it's whether or not that bigger artist wants to bite on that. And sometimes they do, and they kind of shut them down in 1 or 2 dubs, and then they keep it moving, you know? Or other people, they get drawn into it, and, you know, it kind of births careers. I think the best example of that from the UK was Chip versus Bugsy Malone. You had Chip, someone who had a very successful mainstream pop career, was doing the more grime and rap shit, and people never give it the respect it truly deserved. And so he had to prove himself that he's still lyrically bad on the mic, like how he was when he was 16. So he sent for 7 MCs, one of them MCs being Bugsy Malone. Bugsy bit onto that. Bugsy at this point was big in North. He was big in Manchester, but he wasn't really known in London. And London is just the hot spot. Like, if you're big in London, that is it. That's 90% of your audience from the UK. So, you know, you had someone who basically, after that clash and that back and forth, someone who revived their career almost, and someone who literally birthed a career. And so that was a win-win for both. And that was a case of someone, well, in this case, someone bigger sending for someone smaller, but the back and forth ended up elevating them both. But, you know, that's a special instance of it, you know? And so I can agree with that statement, actually. Yeah, there's just not enough people on the same level. And then there's reason to also, you know what I mean? As I said, I would rather hear, as much as I love the clash, I'd rather hear joint EPs. I'd rather hear features. I'd rather hear collaborations over a clash for the most part anyway. But yeah, man.
Well, that's kind of, that's my whole fucking vibe I've been on, like, since I dropped the tribute track.
Yeah.
Like, I've been really trying to link with heaps of people, bro. Like, I feel like I've made some people that I could actually call a friend through, like, because of that song. I've gained people that I would consider, like, a friend, not like a close homie, but like more than an acquaintance, someone that's like a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like Enter is
and that.
like Enter's a good cunt, proper. Like salute to my G. Fucking Shadow. Like I got Shadow on the next tape. I got Shadow on the Lecter shit coming up. And proper good cunt, bro. Fucking these dogs. Not even my dogs and shit, bruv.
Them ones there.
But yeah, bro.
Yeah, the tribute was a bold thing to do. Because, you know, it's a grown man saying like, look, I love what these man are doing. And I'm going to pay my homage to these man. And that's a difficult thing to do now. Because a lot of people love to do that for rappers that have done their thing previously. And what they grew up with. But we're talking about the people who are doing it now. Like majority of people that named in that song.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the reason why I did it. Spanian is the entire inspiration for that song. Spanian alone. No one else inspired that song but Spanian. Who was he? He did it. He had a Instagram post where he said, how come people like the hoods? I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I swear he said, no, I'm not. Yeah, he said.
Along the lines of,
I'm paraphrasing to a degree.
Yeah.
But he basically said, how come people like the hoods? You never see people or like the hoods and the hoods. You never see them bigging up people like your 1-4s. Where the fuck it, like, whenever there's a new act that's on the cusp of becoming real mainstream, how come the mainstream acts are never there to like elevate the up and coming talent? Along those lines. And just instantly I was like, I'm gonna give it up for every cunt then.
Yeah.
I'm a no one, but I just wanted to do it just on my own level of like, no, that's facts. How come no one is like on some camaraderie? Like our culture is backwards, bro. That's 100% fact. Like anyone that's in the culture will agree. Australian hip hop culture is fucking backwards, bro. Like there's a lot more good that could come from unifying than everyone's on some who states better shit. Who are you rolling with? Like fuck all that. I don't give a fuck whether you're from Melbourne or Perth or Tasmania. I don't care where you're from. If you're a good cunt, you make good music, let's link. It's bad. Like, what's the point in being segregated as an entire culture? Because that's how I feel. I feel like it's been like that for ages, bro. Well, not ages. It's always been like that. It never has been unified ever.
The only instance I can think off the top of my head is when a heap of artists did the Get Body tour. That's the only thing I can think off the top of my head with only being around, you know, a couple years in the scene. But even then, is that one instance? Is there only small instances here and there? It's never been a persistent theme throughout hip hop.
And that Get Body tour though, all them cunts were homies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was like a bunch of cunts that have never really met or never really done anything musically getting together on some like camaraderie shit. Let's do something huge for the fans. It was like, all right, we're all fucking on the come up. Like if you look at that list on paper, it's like the greatest tour that you'll ever see from this country. But at that point, none of them knew that if you were to look at that tour now, that it would be as legendary as it is. They were all on the come up when they did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were all they were all homies, bro. They've all gone their separate route now. But at the time, they were doing the same shit in the same ciphers, doing shit with Bagsy at Body Bag. Like they were all tight niche little circle type shit.
Yeah. And they all kind of come up together in a strange way. Majority of them, you know, grown together. That's fair. Yeah. I think that's a fair point. So is it possible to do things like that again in the future?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it and could it be people from different areas that haven't necessarily linked up? Can it be people that you wouldn't typically expect to see with each other, or is that something that's just going to be too far-fetched in this modern era of Aussie hip-hop?
I feel like the best things happen organically, bro. Like that whole Get Bodied shit. I don't think Chillin' It and Nerve and Huskii, they're like the three biggest names from that list, probably.
Yeah.
Can't think
Off
of
the
the
top of your
list.
head, yeah. That sounds about right.
And no, and you got to throw in Wombat.
Wombat.
I don't think four were collectively like, let's all link, boys. We're gonna be the biggest artists in the country in fucking 2 years. Let's do some shit that, they were homies, bro. They were kicking it. They were all making good music, and they fucking continued to work. They were all hungry, and now look where they are. I feel like that can happen again with that same mind state.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So,
like the best things happen organically. Like I could say to fucking someone I could hit up a posse shop and be like, let's link and let's do some hectic shit and like plan it, and it could pop. But because I plan it, there might be a level of it where it doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like, let's just say I went to Melbourne on a whim type shit and I ran into Carney or ran into Muscles and was like, bruv, what's happening? Let's fucking link while I'm here. I guarantee it would go a whole lot different if I was to be like, bruv, I'm going to fly over there. I'm going to meet you there. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that.
Organic though.
I hear that. And do you feel like your best writing comes from an organic place? In terms of when you tell yourself, I need to sit down and write right now. Like, sometimes it can work. But other times, you get that writer's block, and because you're forcing yourself to write, it doesn't necessarily. Are you very much a person that has to be in the moment to write bars, or?
Well, that's another thing with me, bruv. I don't write.
Okay.
Every rhyme you ever heard me spit, I didn't write it.
So how does your recording process work then?
I get into the booth. I've got this fucking throat chakra spray, bruv. And like, I spray it over myself. I say a little prayer in my head. And, bruv, 95% of the time I can make some gangster shit. It's just, the beat is what speaks to me now, bro. Like, I could probably still sit down and like type something or write something, but I wouldn't use it to make a song. Because like for ages, like I've always written songs, bro, since I was 8 years old. I've always penned shit. But when I got to like 20, 21, when I started taking this shit real serious again, I noticed that when I would pen shit, even if I wrote it to a beat, I could never spit it on rhythm. And then I was like, because Lil Wayne, this is another fact, Lil Wayne is my number one ultimate. That's the GOAT for me.
Right.
Like, in my opinion, to me, there's no one better than Lil Wayne ever in the history of hip-hop. To me, my opinion.
Yeah.
Not a factual opinion. To some it may be, but to me.
Yeah.
And I've always been so inspired by Wayne. Like, this is why I got the dreads, bro. It's why I got face tats. Like, a lot of shit that I've done in my life is because of Lil Wayne.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to try his process out of not writing and, like, piecing together a song like a puzzle, bar by bar type shit. And it started off like that, bro. It started off just like I'd do a bar, 2 bars, whatever. I'd just kind of piece together a song.
Yeah.
And it still works that way, but now I kind of, like, I start off doing a bar, and then I'd do 2 bars, and then I'd spit like 4, but I keep deleting the fucking audio until I've got like almost a 1 take. I remember it as I'm recording it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's some alien shit that I couldn't do, so I salute you, man. And I know there's a few other artists that have well documented themselves, you know, through that process and whatnot. And I've always been fascinated by that because I'm a person who works in the complete opposite. I'm a person who has to write something down and over-rehearse it, you know, until and I kind of physically build it inch by inch kind of thing. Whereas other people like to construct it as they go, you know?
With me personally, bro, like that's where you hear my emotion. Yeah. Because as I'm saying it, that's how I feel it. When I write something, it's like I could never, like, I'm bad even with my daughter, bro. When I got to read, when it comes story time and I got to read her a book, I'm bad with, like, you know how when you're in school and the teachers, like, some teachers are really good at that whole thing of like, fucking the sheep went to the market, like knowing when to
I know exactly what you mean.
Put emphasis on words and shit. I could never do that, bro. I could never read my shit, even though it came from me. I wouldn't know where to put the emphasis on the feeling. Reading the bars. Whereas now I'm like, I got my eyes closed when I'm fucking rhyming, bro. So it's like, as I feel it is how I say it.
And do you feel
And
that falls hand in hand with your whole spiritual energy?
yeah, well, it's like it must, bro. I'm saying a prayer and I'm asking for whatever the divinity, the creator of this fucking whole shit. I'm asking them. I'm saying, give me the words that I need for this beat, and they give it to me every time.
And that's sick, man. I think that process is so sick because I'm the opposite. As I said, I write and I, you know, when I put emotion or emphasis into my music, or I'm flaring my voice here, or you know, whatever it may be, it's the more I read it, the more I say it out loud, the more I understand it, the more I kind of just understand where certain things go, and it just starts falling into place. And the more that I know it, the more it kind of means in a very, very strange way. It's like the more I understand my own verse. So I feel like that's mad interesting that it comes from two separate places, you know. I think that that's absolutely crazy in such a good way. And I feel like, you know, some people say to me, like, people will be like, oh, what do you think of my bars? And they'll send me through like this verse, and it's like, I don't know what it sounds like. Show me what it sounds like. Voice note that shit. Send a link. Record that. Like, send me the file. Like I need to know how that shit, you know, sounds. And I think that some people, when they're like, I'm struggling to write, may need to go down more nearer to your route, you know, which is a case of, right, you need to just throw on this beat. You need to loop a certain 8-bar or whatever it is and just fucking spit and just see what comes out. Like, you know, get that first bar and then do that first bar and build it into the second until you can, you know, build up a whole verse.
Yeah, bro. I think, and this is my advice for anyone watching this shit, including you, bro. I feel like a lot of cunts get too stuck on like what to write about and shit, or like go into a session with like a topic on their mind. Like, I want to make a song about, I don't know, let's just any kind of topic. You know what I mean? Just a topic.
Yeah.
All that. Just go deep within your soul, and what you're meant to say, you'll say. Like, think to yourself, like almost like close your eyes type shit, and like, what do you see? What do you see in your head? Talk on it.
Do you never go into a track thinking like, I want to specifically talk about this subject though? Do you ever want to talk about something in particular? Yeah,
like with this whole Lector project, bro. Like this whole Lector project, each session I gotta like kind of get myself in a different zone of like, I'm about to say some fucking disgusting shit. And like, it's not like I don't even really want to, you know, but it's like, it's for the project's sake. You know, like there's been a couple sessions this week where I've really wanted to spit some positive shit. I've been in a positive mood, but it's like, I got deadlines. I need to get this Lector shit done. So like, fuck all that positive shit for the minute. Let's get grimy. Yeah.
Now I hear that, man. And you know, is it fair to say sometimes you know you need to write some grimy shit, but you're in a more positive mood, but are you able to just switch up what you need to do? Or does it take a while? Is it something that you find difficult to kind of adapt to? Like, if you are in a positive mood, is it difficult to talk about dark shit? Or can you flick the switch like that?
Like, bro, I can't even front. The last like 2 months, I've been on some other shit, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm just always working, bro. Like, I'll say this publicly. This year, mainstream, any stream, I was the hardest working cunt in this country.
Talk your shit.
Dare anyone to? I'll give anyone. I don't even have 10 grand, and I'll bet 10 grand that I put out more music than anyone in this country this year. That's a fact. I dare anyone to find anyone that has put out more music than me. They won't do it.
Just for the sake of numbers, real quick, how many projects have you made?
I'm about to put out my 3rd project.
In how long?
Fuck, bro. I didn't release my first track this year until April.
Okay, so 3 projects in the last, what, 6 months or so?
Yeah, and I got another one coming November as well.
Okay.
Follow up.
Now, let me just emphasize something real quick to people. That is very doable for a lot of artists. Some artists do genuinely make that amount of tracks in 6 months. But to do it with a certain level of quality is then a different story. I could write a track or two a day. Not all of them are going to slap, and that is just the honest truth. Like, yeah, there might be a nice bar here or there, or the concept of that one might be nice, but for me, and it depends on who you are as an artist and how you navigate that space, but some people can. Like, Wiley from the UK has known to make like 400 tracks a year. Someone like Dot Rotten, when he went on one, was making a track a day and putting it out, and 9 times out of 10, it would slap, right? But not everyone can do that. And so for you, bro, to be able to do that and then be able to do it at the quality that you're doing it at is insane. Do you feel like there's even been a level of growth in that short space of time, or have you, you know, been building up to this point and now this is your point where you're just like, right, let me show the world?
The first joint that I put out this year was called G5. It was the first single that I put out.
Right.
Bro, go and listen to that fucking track and then listen to Filth. It's not the same person, bro. Like, that's like a lot of people want to know how they make it. Work. Bruv, work. If you love this shit, do it all day, every day. I don't have a job, bro. I don't go to work 9 to 5. I stay at fucking home. I got a newborn baby, bro. I got a 10-month-old daughter. And I still, lucky I got wifey to hold it down, bro. Like, wifey's good. Like, she's like, you do you, because I know you're going to make it. I know you're going to make some money off this shit.
It's beautiful,
bro,
man.
All day, every day, I'm in that booth. As if, and bro, even when I get some shit, I'll still be rhyming like I got nothing. Because it's like, on some meat meal type shit, bro. I stay hungry.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, a lot of people would get a track with Huskii and do the numbers that I've done and be like, bro, I can relax now. Like, nah, bruv, I'm going to put out another fucking album, another one in November, and then I'm just gonna keep hitting you with them until you all simultaneously agree that I'm the best. That's the type of time I'm on, bro. I want everyone to as a whole be like, nah, this cunt is like the new. Like, this cunt's the fucking don of this shit. I won't stop until every cunt that listens to Aussie hip hop simultaneously agrees to that statement that I'm the best.
Yeah, you see that audio clip that we've just got there? You're going to put that on the end of one of your projects one day. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. You're going to clip that 40-second speech there. You're going to put it on the end of the project and say, I told you so, cunts.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do, man. Like, and I like your choice of words as well, because earlier you were saying like, yo, I've worked with some of my favorite artists. Like, I've done everything I wanted to do. But then you're also still hungry to do more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you've achieved everything you wanted to achieve and you want to keep pushing forward. I had the similar thing with the whole YouTube channel. It was in my head, once I get to 10,000 subscribers, I should, in and around that point, have enough of a community so that when I say at the end of a video, yo, what do you, man, think? I have at least 10 people tell me what they think. Because that was the only thing that I didn't like about making videos at an early point. It wasn't necessarily the views, the subscribers. It was the interaction. I wanted to be able, yo, what do you, man, like? And people actually be able to comment. So once I got to that point, not even necessarily 10,000, but once I started getting in and around that point where there was a community, when you was able to get feedback on things, that was when I was like, yo, I'm happy now. But still work short term. Like, this is your, you know, your last, you know, still working like this is your first equally, you know, that level of hunger of like, yo, you need this shit.
Yeah, 100%, bro. That's how I've always been. Like, since I first came out, it's been like, I won't settle for anything less than the top, bro. I won't.
I hear you, man. So to just round up on the end, last thing I would just want to touch on real quick is this upcoming collaboration project. You know, you've hit up a bag of artists, you've hit up a bunch of people, and you've said, yo, let's make a fire fucking album, mixtape, whatever it is. Like, talk to us. What have you got planned?
Bro, it's gonna be called The Link Up. And anyone who fucking knows the fucking old Culture of Kings tapes, that's the type of vibe I want to go for with this shit. It's like just a fucking compilation of the best and like people that you've never heard before, bro. Like, I got a couple people in mind from Adelaide, some younger dudes that I'm gonna put on for. Like, I want it may have come across like, oh, I just want to get the biggest artists in the country on one shit. There's a degree of it, like, yeah, I do. I want to get all the dons, but I also want to put like some dude whose favorite rapper is Alex Jones from Adelaide or from wherever the fuck he is, some up and coming artist, if his favorite rapper is Alex Jones, I want to surprise him and be like, bruv, you know the track that you're on? I've put you on the same joint as Alex. Like, I want to make some dreams come true with this type shit. You know what I mean? And just, like I said about the whole unifying thing, bro, I want to showcase it because it hasn't been done. Like, the last Culture of Kings tape, I reckon was, I may be wrong, but I reckon it was like 07, bruv. That's 13 years that a bunch of cunts didn't come together. And it's not even like they came together. It was just like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
you just want to hear a kind of generation of Aussie hip hop in one place.
Yeah. Like, I want to hear, like, me personally, even as a fan, like, I want to hear Alex Jones on a track with fucking Chillin' It and Wombat and Huskii and Posse Shop.
Don't get me excited. Don't get me excited. But yeah, like, that's the effect. That is the effect. So when you eventually release that track list, people like me as fans can sit there and go, yo, and get excited for that shit, man.
Yeah. So that's really what that's the idea and the gist of it, bro. I just want to have a compilation album of, like you said, I want it to be the sound of right now. I want people to turn on that CD or that playlist, that project, and be like, this is what Aussie hip hop is right now. I can hear it from multiple artists on one project.
No, you know I think that's it.
I'm gonna listen to an old Alex Jones mixtape, and then I'm gonna listen to a Chill mixtape, and then I'm gonna listen to a Wombat project. No, you won't need to do that, lad. You just listen to the one project, and all three of them cunts will be on there, hopefully.
Equally so, you know, you might have people like that who are now getting introduced to Aussie hip-hop, and maybe this is a good place to start. Now pick the cunts that you like from there, then go and check out their other work and their older shit and dive deeper, and I feel like that's a good way to do it. I mean, that's how features have always traditionally worked. You know, an artist features, and that's how majority of people find new artists. You either find out about them through that one song that they blew up off of, or more time than not, it's because they featured on one of your favorite artists and you're like, yo, they killed that feature, let me go check out their shit, and then you know, snowball down that road. So I feel like if you're able to create this and successfully pull this off, man, I think it can be big, and I believe it can be massively influential on culture going forward. For
sure, bro.
I want to see more of that shit. So yeah, man, nah, keep doing what you're doing, and I love the energy that you're putting in, you know, like, more so that it's positive, but even then, just the energy and just kind of that hunger that I feel like not enough people have got, personally.
Yeah, no, I feel that, bro. I just want to quickly say as well, just I appreciate, like, your reactions and just you as a person, bro. Like, fuck all the reactor shit of like, oh, Chazza the reactor, like, Chazza the man, I appreciate you, lad. Like, you're a good cunt. You know what I mean? That's why I had to send you a little package in that, because it's like, reaction or not, like, you're a good cunt. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Likewise for yourself.
As a human being, bro, like, yeah, fucking oath.